So I think it's come up right now.
Yeah, but someone needs to. Hi everyone.
Hi everyone. Happy Valentine's Day first of all to everyone who's logged in.
Happy Valentine's Day.
Welcome to yet another amazing session of our Wednesday live sessions with Dr. Shuba Dharmana herself and myself, Dr. Shweta Sandeep. How are you guys doing? We had talked about a weekend getaway last week, Doctor.
Yes, we did.
So
a giveaway.
A giveaway. Not a getaway.
I guess. We will do that soon too.
Soon, someday, yeah? So let's just give us a quick reminder what it was. It was a chance to win a hydrofacial at our own clinic in Benson Town for one lucky winner who was commenting and sharing and tagging two of their friends. So who's this week's winner, Doctor?
I think we saw a lot of participants did participate,
yes.
And I'm not able to see the shares and to see who shared, but I would like to give it to one of the participants that's participated the most, and that is Vidisha.
Congratulations, Vidisha.
Congratulations, Vidisha. You have hydrofacial complimentary at our clinic.
We'll get in touch with you soon so we can arrange for you to come and get the hydrofacial at our clinic.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for commenting and sharing and tagging your friends. But we hope to see a lot more activity.
And just before we go, I just want to check if we are connected. We're still trying to get our bearings right.
Right.
Just want to see if
our phones are connected.
Phones are connected.
Yeah. So let's just do that. Meanwhile, the topic for today is Botox, and we hope to hear a lot of your questions. You can post them to us while we set it up. So we'll get back to you in a bit. Let's just see if we can connect.
Please bear with us. It's just going to take about 2 minutes to set this up, and then we can start a discussion on Botox. Meanwhile, if you have any questions about Botox, any myths that you want us to bust, any concerns, anything that you would like us to discuss, then please let us know. We're still setting it up.
No, that's to watch the live.
No. Okay. Okay, we're not able to the technical snag. We're not able to connect the phones together, but that's fine. That's all right.
Actually, anyone, if you guys, if you would be more, if you're tech pro and you know how to connect two profiles and going live together, like herself.
Please let us know.
Please,
we'd like to do that next time.
So that would be a big help. So let's get back to this week's topic. We're talking about Botox this week. Where do we start with Botox?
So what is Botox? People want to find out what Botox is. There's a lot of hype around Botox, a lot of misconceptions, myths. So we want to bust some of those myths because I really think Botox is one of the most popular, amazing treatments in the cosmetic world, in aesthetic medicine. It's changed the face of aesthetic medicine, and it's still the #1 sought after treatment.
Right.
Botox is nothing but botulinum toxin. This is the name might sound scary, but it's a very, very, very diluted toxin. It's a very purified protein that is made in a lab, and this is in very minute quantities, especially for the aesthetic indications, for beauty indications. We use such a diluted, minute amount that it's absolutely safe. So this protein is injected in the form of tiny micro injections wherever you need it, and Botox works by relaxing those muscles where it's injected. Why do we form wrinkles? So let's talk about why we form wrinkles first of all. You see, we all form expressions, whether it's frowning or raising your eyebrows, squinting. There's various different facial expressions that we all make. And with age, what happens is once we lose the elasticity of our skin, these lines get etched in. These lines keep forming on our skin, and that gives us a very sad expression. Even though you're not sad, you look tired, you look older than you are, and people want to get rid of those lines and wrinkles. You know what I say is, let's say you had an amazing spa holiday, you're very relaxed, you've got on this beautiful holiday, you come back and then someone says, oh, why do you look so tired today? That is the time to get Botox done. So that in essential, in short, is Botox.
Is there any age for Botox, like only these age groups need to get done?
Yeah, that's a lovely question. There was once upon a time when the practitioners did say that Botox can be done as long as you have lines and wrinkles, and can be done as a preventive measure in anyone at any age, but that's not really true. I think below the age of 20, you don't really need Botox because you're too young. You've not formed those expression lines yet. I would recommend it, I'm comfortable recommending to people from the early 20s onwards. If I see that they have a lot of muscular movement with their facial expressions, they're very animated, then I think Botox might be a good idea just to prevent those lines and wrinkles from coming. And we will talk about how Botox is being done worldwide as a preventive measure, not just to treat.
A little bit of history for Botox. For those of you who are interested, we found out Botox in 1800s, I think, the early 1820s, when a couple of dozen Germans ate sausages and they all died. So one of the doctors over there, he was very interested about how about did they die, and he isolated this Clostridium botulinum toxin from the sausages. And he got really curious about what you could use it for, to the extent that he injected himself. But nothing happened to him. He had a couple of side effects, which we'll again talk later. These are Clostridium botulinum. This is what I'm talking about. Botox is a more purified version of the Clostridium botulinum. So later on, like 50, 60 years later on, people kept dying, and then that's when they found out, okay, this is called botulinum toxin. That's like a little bit history. It's a very deadly history. A lot of people died while we were discovering it.
But that brings us back to the safety of Botox. Like I was saying, botulinum toxin that is used in aesthetic medicine as an aesthetic indication for lines or wrinkles is such a diluted dose, such a minute amount of dose that is used that it is absolutely safe, done by the right professional.
Yes. That's something which we need to remember. Let's go to each one of the myths that are associated with Botox. Who can inject it? Can anyone inject it?
That's a wonderful question. No, you cannot inject it unless you are experienced and you've got the expertise to inject this. Botox requires that you know the anatomy of the face. It has just so much to do with the muscles of the face, the expression lines, and the right muscles to hit. It's a gentle balance between there are muscles on the face that will depress your face, and that there are muscles on the face that will elevate your face. And it's a gentle balance. It's almost like a pulley. You pull too much down, you inject too much, you can't pull your eyebrows or your lid down. And that is the reason why things can go wrong with Botox. It's important to go to a professional who has a lot of experience.
Yeah.
That is the most important thing. Someone that is qualified to do Botox.
This is something that I come across a lot because people prefer aestheticians, especially out in the West. What I've noticed is aestheticians or people in the salons, they inject as well. But like the way I think it, you only get what you pay for. So even if it's cheaper, you will get the results according to how much you pay for. So it's always better to go to a certified dermatologist who knows what she is doing.
Absolutely.
What are your questions about Botox? Have anyone of you gotten injected? And if so, what was your experience? And tell us your story where you were waiting to listen to your experiences.
And that brings us to a good question. There's a lot of taboo around the word Botox. Nobody wants to disclose, even if they've had Botox done, they don't want to discuss it. They don't want to say that they have had it done. It's understandable to a certain extent. But I really think that at the end of the day, today we live in such a competitive world. It's all to do with first impressions. You want that job, you want that, your frontline staff, or it just, Botox has been shown a lot of studies to improve the self-confidence and the self-esteem levels of a lot of individuals. Politicians, in fact, this is called, we'll come back to the word Botox, but this is called Protox. Protox is professionals like lawyers and politicians getting Botox done because it makes them expressionless. That is just something that I've come across. But there is a certain something about a person who gets that Botox done. You know, it is a smooth forehead with no lines, wrinkles. It makes them look a lot more approachable, a lot more softer features. That means, imagine your boss who is looking angry and sad and looks like he can bite your head off any minute. He certainly needs Botox. Imagine if he had that Botox done and his features and face was looking a lot more smoother. He's certainly more approachable.
Definitely.
And that is the reason why a lot of professionals and men, in fact, are looking for Botox. And this is called Botox. It is men getting more and more Botox these days.
This is a good gift to give your boss this for his birthday or for your fellow friends, men. This is a good thing because there's nothing, it's all metrosexual now. And get Botox, grooming yourself. You don't have to necessarily groom yourself to want to look nicer. You can get Botox and you can just do these small tricks. There's no taboo around it anymore. I think these walls are coming down. So more on that,
I like that new age girls and boys are speaking out a lot more and they're not shy anymore.
Right.
They're not having to hide the fact. They are going after what they want, not after what the society wants them to be. That is just so empowering and so powerful, and I highly respect those women and men who are able to make their own decisions. That's just something that I wanted to put out there. I do see a lot of bloggers also today who want to talk about these and want to bring it to the public domain. They want to create awareness about it. Even there are a lot of celebrities that want to do it. So that's just amazing.
It is. It's in fact, it's just been 15 years as of last year. So it's been 16 years since FDA has approved Botox for cosmetic reasons. It's just been in 2002. So before that, we had a complete range of things, and even now, there's a lot of research about how Botox can do different things from head to toe for your body and life-saving things actually for you. So let's talk about that.
It's been, I think, 22 years since Botox has been brought into this, they've discovered the benefits of Botox, but the medical benefits of Botox. For the it has been used for urinary incontinence.
Overactive bladder.
Overactive bladder, yes.
But the first use was for neck spasms.
Yes.
Allegra Lisa for neck spasms.
Yeah.
And then it was used for a lot of other things, like now we use it for different things like migraines and excessive sweating, but like you mentioned, overactive bladders. Right now, there's a research going on from Journal of Psychiatric Research that says that if you get your facial muscles relaxed, there is a connection between Botox and depression. So when your facial musculature gets relaxed, the feedback signals to your brain decrease.
Yeah, so it helps in depression.
Yeah, so you have lesser negative thoughts. See, Botox is good for you.
Yeah.
That indirectly makes you happy. So.
Botox has been used for migraine, and that's an amazing thing. It's helping a lot of people who are really suffering from migraine symptoms, where it's debilitating migraines, where they're having to lose a certain quality of life. They are having frequent episodic migraines. Botox can help, so do check with your neurologist if you can be a candidate if you are suffering from really bad migraines. It's also been used for spasticity, wherever basically there are tight muscles and it can be used. Cerebral palsy.
Yes, cerebral palsy.
Yeah.
And a recent thing, why it's not yet FDA licensed, but they're using Botox for weight loss.
Oh, wow.
So that's nice. They're going to inject it directly into the gastric muscle and causes some atresia. So you lose weight basically. So
wow.
It's still not FDA approved because the safety testing is still being done. But imagine how nice that would be, because you could get your face injected, then you could get Just a come and go package. You get your whole body care done.
Another amazing use of Botox is for excessive sweating.
Yes.
Hyperhidrosis. So people that have sweaty armpits or sweaty palms, soles, as well as sweaty scalp can now get injected with Botox, because Botox does help. It helps in delaying that signal. It cuts that signal that comes across from the nerve to the muscle. So that way it helps. It does not deliver the signals required for the sweat to be produced.
I wanted to add a point. I read somewhere, it should be a lifestyle magazine, that celebrities get their heels Botox.
Yes.
Because they have too much pain from wearing heels all wearing.
Louboutins!
So you can get your
girls.
you can get your heels Botox so that you don't have any pain from wearing heels.
Yeah.
They even do fillers, but they get Botox done on their bust.
Yes.
So that it gives an immediate relief.
Oh, I've done that.
Really?
When I was in the UK, I have injected Botox for boob lift.
Oh, okay. How was that?
Yeah, so one was higher than the other. That's always a complication. That is a little complication, and then you have to adjust your dose a little bit. But it is a thing. It's a boob lift is a thing.
Okay, that's a good thing. So it's got like you think about it and you can use Botox, right, maybe.
Yeah.
So let's get to face Botox. Like, how do we do it? What is our regular consultation like? What clients do we take?
Yeah. I see that a lot of the Indian population, especially the South Indians, have a lot of concerns about getting injections on the face.
Yes.
They have a lot of misconceptions, and there's a lot of myths to be busted about Botox. They are worried about getting. Some of them think that they may be too young to get Botox injected. But like I said, there is as long as you're in your mid-20s and you are using your muscles too much, I think you are a good candidate, because there are also preventive aspects of Botox. It can prevent your lines from forming too soon. That's an amazing thing to explore. They also feel that it is something that has to be done very frequently, something that needs high maintenance and upkeep. Well, it is true to a certain aspect, because aging is a continuous process, and you do need to, if you want to look young, if you want to maintain your looks, then there is a compromise. You have to do something about it. Isn't it?
Upkeep is a part of every procedure we do.
Yeah, absolutely.
Maintenance is key for all good aesthetic procedures.
If you want to be a hermit and go and live under a stone, then that's, you don't need Botox, you don't need to straighten your hair, you don't need to do anything.
Alright, so how often do we need to get injections then?
Botox usually lasts for 3 to 4 months.
Right.
So initially you would start off with maybe once in 3 or 4 months.
Right.
But if you're getting it done regularly, it's also training your muscles. So then the effects of Botox can last longer. It can even last for up to 6 months.
Right.
And let's talk about the preventive aspect of Botox. Somebody that has not formed lines yet, but are using the muscles quite a lot. They're using a lot of the facial muscles of expression. They're frowning quite a lot, they're squinting quite a lot. You think they might be a good candidate for Botox. Botox works by relaxing those muscles, so they cannot use those muscles as much. And when you do that regularly, that muscle also atrophies. That means it just shrinks a little bit.
Yeah.
So it's not as active anymore. As long as you keep doing that Botox, that muscle is getting smaller and smaller, and you're preventing those lines from forming. But of course, if you do stop having Botox altogether, then the muscle slowly starts to again hypertrophy or just increase in size again, and then you can form wrinkles once again.
Isn't masseter training a kind of a preventive measure?
Yeah.
Where you keep injecting at the masseter
for
especially Asian people who have like bigger masseters, bigger. You can see your upper cheek. What do we call this cheek?
The angle of the jaw, the mandible angle of the jaw. But basically, if you have a squarish face, if you're a little bit heavy on the lower part of the face, a lot of people have really big, bulky
muscles
muscles that makes them look that way.
Boxy, right?
Yeah, boxy or a square shaped.
Right.
Botox is a nice way to bring down that shape into a V shape. The V shape is the most desired face all over the world. So if you inject the Botox over the masseter muscle atrophies. You do that a few times, and even with one sitting, you will see that the box shape transforms into a V.
Right.
So that's an amazing treatment to do. That can just change the shape of your face.
So you can basically use Botox to remodel the shape of your face as well.
Yeah.
That's yet another use of Botox that we missed earlier.
Let's talk about some of the other common indications that we use Botox for in aesthetic medicine. One is, we've talked about the facial lines, and let's talk about these lines. One are the frown lines, which you find on the forehead. When you frown, you form those lines in between your eyebrows and over the eyebrows. So those can be taken away with Botox. And then you have the forehead lines which appear when you raise your eyebrows. Those can be taken away with Botox. There are also lines that you form around the side of your eyes. And these are called the crow's feet. That again can give you a sad, tired expression. Those can be removed with Botox. What are the other indications? Bunny lines. Have you heard of bunny lines? These appear by the side of your nose and in between your nose and your eyes. And when you scrunch up your nose, like you've smelled something bad, you form those lines. Botox can be given for those lines as well. Some of the other indications for Botox are to turn up the corner of the angle of the mouth. So we inject a little muscle, a triangular muscle which is present just below the over the chin. So when we inject that muscle, the corners of the mouth turn up.
Oh, wow.
As we grow old, the two corners tend to droop down, and we form marionette lines,
the sad lines.
The sad lines, and that gives you, when your mouth is downturned, it gives you a sad,
aged look.
Yeah, aged look. Right. So that can make your mouth look very youthful when you've done Botox over there. It can. There's also something called the Nefertiti lift. The Nefertiti goes by the name of Queen Egyptian
goddess.
Nefertiti. Yeah. She has the perfect, it is rumored that she has a perfect neck and jawline. It is so very sculpted, and so they call it the Nefertiti lift. We inject certain points along the jawline, and that then relaxes the platysma muscle.
Oh.
The platysma muscle is quite active in these people, and that is what pulls it down.
Oh, wow.
So when you inject that muscle and the muscle is relaxed, then you actually see a definition.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, you have a more defined jawline.
Right.
And you can also inject the neck bands.
Neck bands,
older
right.
people,
Yeah, definitely.
Older people have these neck bands, the vertical neck bands, and those can be injected with Botox, and that makes the neck look a lot smoother. So these are some of the wonderful effects of Botox. There's also something called Mesobotox. Mesobotox is a very diluted form of Botox, which is just injected all over the face in micro injections. This again gives your skin a lot more a radiant look, the glow, and then it tends to minimize the appearance of open pores,
right,
and take away the fine wrinkling, the crepey
on the face.
Yeah,
right?
on the face. So yeah, those are some of the.
So there are like a million things you could do with Botox on your face. It's so odd when you don't know much about Botox. All you think about are like injections only to lift your forehead in between your eyebrows. And now when you hear about these things, the kind of things which you can do all over your face and neck, sounds so interesting actually.
Yeah, and most people are worried about Botox because they see such. The moment you look at Botox and celebrities on Google, you see such
Botched
faces,
yes.
botched jobs. But you see, the botched jobs are because these celebrities do a lot of other things. Plastic surgery in combination with Botox and other things. It's not just the Botox that's caused it. Maybe they've had too much Botox. Maybe they've gone to the wrong practitioner. There's so many things that can go wrong. So that is why, as we say, you have to go to the right practitioner who has a lot of skill with Botox. If you can find that practitioner who can give you, and today you can get the most natural results with Botox. You don't need to have a frozen look. We'll come back to that later on. Yeah. Stick to that practitioner.
Also, you should know when to stop, right, with Botox.
Yeah.
That's a lot,
And you have to have that relationship with your doctor.
Right.
If you have gone too far, your doctor should stop you. If your doctor's going too far, you should stop them.
Right.
So that's the relationship. If you found the right balance and right relationship between you and your doctor, you're happy with your doctor, I would say stick to your doctor. Don't let them go.
So let's talk about frozen expression. This is another myth that I've seen a lot of my friends who keep talking about Botox. They're so scared that they won't be able to express their face.
Yeah.
Their expressions will be a little frozen.
Yeah. This is again, it comes back to that. They have looked at celebrity faces who have had a number of things done and they've gone wrong.
Right.
Just Botox by itself will not give you a frozen expression unless you've done too much of it. And today we do it in such small doses and it gives you a very natural result, which means that if you still need to express yourself, you're an actor, you still need to frown, you can still do that. Botox does not completely have to take it away.
Right.
It softens them, but it does not take it away. And that is what we're going towards. We're not frozen was a thing of the past. You don't have to have a frozen look with Botox at all.
Right, so that's like a big myth which is associated with Botox. Apart from, I think that one, the next one is about pain. I get a lot of questions, does it hurt? How bad is the pain?
Yeah.
We normally do it first, we apply a topical numbing agent and we wait for about 40 to 45 minutes. That's a good time to do it.
Yeah, but Botox is done with such micro baby needles and injections that you don't even need the numbing cream. In most of the cases, you don't need it. Unless you're getting several injections
Done together.
then we can always numb the skin. And I think pain threshold is something that varies from person to person. But mostly, 99%, I really don't think you need anything.
For the pain, right?
For the pain.
What are the aftercare instructions that we normally give after someone's finished the procedure?
Yeah, good question. After doing the Botox, you will have a little bit of a redness or blood-like, a little swelling that you will probably have for an hour. By the time you go home, it's gone. Some people ice it, and you can apply arnica, an anti-bruise cream, or a vitamin K cream, so that it doesn't bruise, because bruising is one of the side effects. I mean, you're going in with a needle, you may hit a little tiny blood vessel that may cause a tiny bruise, but a bruise is a bruise, it's something that will go away. You must use a sunscreen, that is extremely important. Certainly avoid alcohol and anything that keeps your blood thin. Aspirin and red wine is something that you need to avoid for maybe 1 or 2 days.
Even fish oil capsules.
Fish oil capsules.
Multivitamins, especially with vitamin E in it.
Yeah. And then do not bend down or stoop down for 24 hours, because Botox is a very fine, it's a very flowy liquid, and we don't want that to slip and go into the wrong areas. So you should try and stay upright certainly for a few hours after doing Botox, but for the next 24 hours you need to be aware of what you're doing. You shouldn't be stooping down or running down that way. I think, if you have a bruise, you can apply arnica, and you can cover it up with your concealer. Bruise goes away in about 2 or 3 days, it changes color, and then
even
harmless.
Even when you sleep, don't smush your face against the pillow and sleep.
Yes.
That's another thing. Right? You're not supposed to massage or manipulate the area with your fingers. Don't do anything.
You'll get them infected if you do that.
Yeah, don't mess around with the area that has been injected. And try to sleep on your back for at least 1 or 2 nights.
Yeah, one night.
As much as you can. Sleeping on your tummy is not a good idea the day after you get your Botox. And I think we have a couple of questions. What do you think?
Yeah, let's take the questions.
I'm going to come a little further and squint. Okay, I am 36 years old. Can I attempt Botox?
Absolutely. 36 is a good age. Like I was saying, I'm happy doing it from 20 upwards.
Right.
So if you're 36, you definitely have some signs of aging, and these can be targeted. Botox generally is amazing for the upper part of the face. The lower part of the face, fillers are amazing, but there are also indications for Botox in the lower half of the face. If it depending on the area that you're concerned about, we can inject the area. We have an amazing giveaway for Botox, in fact.
Yes, this week's giveaway is different from last week's giveaway. We thought it would be nicer to share with a lot of people instead of just one. So we're talking about giving 5 free consultations for Botox for this week's giveaway. So we'll announce the names of the winners next week when we talk about C, complexion boosters.
And if you don't want your name to be announced, that's absolutely fine. We'll still give those. You still have 5 people can avail completely complimentary consultation with us regarding we can look at the areas, the concerns that you have, and we can advise
about Botox.
Yeah.
What else? What are your other questions for us about Botox? We have a reply back from. Oh, thank you so much. I live in the Caribbean. Not a lot of doctors doing Botox in my country. Oh, hi! It's my friend Heather. Heather, you should come to India. You should come to Bangalore and you should visit us. We do Botox, which is, let's talk about how expensive is Botox.
Yeah, good idea.
Another good question for Botox.
Yeah, there is a small price variation between all the countries. It's not too much of a variation. If you're thinking that you can come to India and get it done very cheap, it doesn't happen that way because the product cost is the same. Wherever you go, it's the same. Maybe the doctor's price varies from country to country, and depending on how well qualified the doctor is and how good a setup they have, that depends on a lot of things. But it does not vary too much. I think roughly you can expect to pay anywhere from 400 to 600 rupees per unit. And I think that works the same in the UK. I know that we were charging 250 to 300 pounds for 3 areas. They charge area-wise. Some people charge area-wise. Crown lines, 100 pounds or 10,000 rupees.
Right.
Or unit-wise. So if you use 50 units, then it's 20,000.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
So, alright, so that's the pricing about Botox. So, what do you, like, how many sessions would they need? Like, how often do they come back?
They will need, yes, the treatment session, of course, and some people tend to come back for a follow-up if they've had maybe not a complete result, if they need a little bit more injected. We usually do that in a follow-up at 2 weeks. We can correct any tiny problems. Botox is something, this is very rare, but if, for example, one side of the eyebrow goes up a little bit more than the other, then we can always drop it by giving the tiny, 1 or 2 units. So let's talk about the side effects. With Botox. What can be the side effects? We've already talked about one, which is the bruising. We've talked about redness that you can have, which is temporary, as well as swelling, which can be temporary. Headaches are very rare. I really haven't heard of anything like that. But eyebrow droop or an eyelid droop is something that can happen. If you've got too much excess skin or too loose skin, and you have got a lot of sagging, or if it's injected in a wrong way, there's so many reasons why that can happen. So again, it is really important to go to a professional who has a lot of experience. So anatomy is
very important.
Is important when it comes to Botox. What
so
else?
Eyebrow dropping. So what else? How do we reverse that? We had this professor when I was studying who told us use aproclonidine eye drops.
Yeah.
That would lift the eye. It would just give illusion.
Yeah. If you've got lid ptosis, that means your lid has drooped because of Botox. You can use these eye drops, and you would use them. As long as you use the eye drops, it will lift a little bit, not a tiny bit, but it will look better, of course. And but that will only last for about 4 or 5 hours, and you have to keep using it about four times daily. But Botox is so temporary; it will only last for 3 months. In about 2 months, you will see that the side effect is
wearing off. What other side effects do we have with Botox? So
those are the main ones. There are, of course, certain rare ones. And a lot of people talk about Botox not working for them anymore after certain
tolerance, right?
Yeah, tolerance and antibody development. Maybe for some of the brands of Botox that can happen, and there are some studies, and there need to be a lot more studies that need to happen. They say that antibody formation is a thing.
Okay.
You can form antibodies so that the further doses do not work
really?
as well, and you have to increase the doses.
Okay.
But there are forms of Botox which have come now, which are just amazing. What I use is this one, Xeomin. This is Xeomin. And this is botulinum toxin, and I like it because there are so many benefits of using this. There is no cold chain, that means it doesn't have to be kept in cold, whereas other forms of Botox, if you don't keep them in that cold chain, then it can break down. The molecule can break down, may not work as effectively. The other thing also is antibody formation is not reported with this one, so I like using that.
That's a nice thing anyway. What about Dysport? What is Dysport then?
Dysport is also, they're all different
brand names.
Yeah, brand names as well as this one is they're different botulinum toxin, right? Type A, type B, type C, the different toxins.
Type A, right?
Yeah, this is type A. So that's again a different form of a Botox, but that is it comes in 200 units.
Okay.
It also comes in, I think, 100 units.
Okay.
Yeah, it's something that 100 units is not with us. I think this book is coming to India soon. As far as I know, I don't think it is here.
Okay.
We're expecting it soon. I have used this book. I've used various other brands of Botox, but I really like this. The units are not equivalent between different forms of Botox. 1 unit of this is equivalent to some 4 units of this Botox.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So it's nicer if it's a little diluted, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Means the side effects are parallel as well?
They say that the more concentrated it is, the more focused. So if you want to target it on a very focused area, if you're looking at just the frown or crow's feet in a particular area, it's good to go focused.
Okay.
But if you want generally, maybe for radiance, for other meso Botox, it's nice to dilute it.
It's nice to dilute it then.
Yeah.
Alright. Then, what are your other questions? You haven't told us anything, you haven't asked us any of your Botox questions. We have a couple of questions, but they're all best male cream for facial grooming. That's the question I was squinting and trying to read. I'd like to stress that there's no cream yet that is FDA approved, which is equivalent to the result of Botox.
Yeah.
I read that over and
That's
over.
a good question. Yeah, absolutely. There is nothing that can be,
Equivalent.
creams-wise, nothing can be equivalent to Botox. Botox is something that, we're penetrating deep with a needle and placing the product exactly where it is required.
Exactly. So that's the thing with Botox. There are a lot of future studies that are going to happen, more exciting things to come with Botox. I've covered almost everything.
I think we've covered most of the topic. If you have any questions about Botox, we can take that. Otherwise, I think we will stress on the giveaway once again, and then talk about next week's topic, and then probably close.
So our giveaway for this week is, again, comment, tag your friends, 2 of them, and share our video as much as you can. And we'll be giving away 5 consultations for your face on how we do Botox and which parts of your face are most suitable for it, and if it is the thing for you. So 5 lucky winners for next week. Next week we'll be talking about complexion boosters. Always remember, like we discussed, go to a certified dermatologist or anyone with good experience who knows what she's doing and know when to stop. That's all from us, I think.
Yes.
Thank you for logging in. Thank you so much. Happy Valentine's Day again to everyone.
Happy Valentine's Day, all of you.
We hope you have a lovely day.
Absolutely, yeah.
All right. Thank you again. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.